knowledge is knowledge. It's free in universe. You just need to connect to the universe. You can download everything itself. When you start doing meditation, your internet connection becomes so quick, you can download directly from this huge universe all information. And how did the yogis did? Where they discover? They do not roam around, going from in this corner to that corner. They sit in one place and they download everything. So that's what the yogis do. And that's what we also can do.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 15 of the Future is Beautiful podcast. Thank you to our latest patrons, Ali Northfield and John R. Nordell. If you love the show, please do visit www.thefutureisbeautiful.co/community and see how you can make a monthly donation which goes towards the costs of making this show. As you know, I have an intention to make this podcast diverse and global, with voices of different ages, sexes, levels of public life and countries of origin, so we can all benefit from wisdom and knowledge that isn't always featured in mainstream media. We're a very small team of well-meaning folk who do this as a side project, and so any support you can offer us by sharing this podcast with your friends, helping us get features in the press, and even just giving us a review will help us grow. This week, my guest is my dear friend Pandit Anand Semalty. He was recommended to a friend of mine who wanted to get her Vedic astrology read. I then went for mine and found Anand to be a brilliant astrologer as well as an excellent teacher. I've been to Vedic Valley, his centre in Goa, India, multiple times and have experienced his skill and his connection in different ways, from working with me on a physical pain to the exquisiteness of his all-night Shivatri puja. He holds a high seat of knowledge and practice. He's a lifetime student and teacher, born into a Brahmin family in the Himalayas. Since his childhood, he's been studying the Vedas at a Sanskrit university in Varanasi and post-graduated his mastery in Sanskrit grammar and Vedic astrology with the honorific title Acharya, which means a scholar who practices what he teaches. He comes from a lineage of revered pundits, his grandfather from whom he received deeper knowledge about astrology and palmistry, and his father who introduced him into Vedic rituals and Tantra, which is the traditional and intense practice and realization of yoga, mudra and meditation he achieved from yogis in the Himalayas. Anand spends the winters in Vedic Valley with his wife Akasha and 3 incredible daughters, offering retreats, trainings and readings. And then in the summer can be found teaching in Europe, where he also teaches in German as well as English. In this conversation, Anand and I share a cup of chai and a lot of laughter at Vedic Valley when I was there in India earlier this year. We discuss how health is the future, what yoga really is, not what it's become in the West, and some of the ways to navigate really living your yoga and a spiritual life. I hope that you enjoy this episode. Welcome to The Future is Beautiful, with me, your host, Amisha Gadiali. On this show, we explore the weave between politics, spirituality, creativity, and sustainability. Every one of us has ideas and personal experiences to share that can lead us to a brighter future. Despite the challenges we face as a global community, or the pressures that we meet in our daily lives, when we stop and dare to dream, to ask ourselves the big questions, and to share what we are already doing, we create the future that we wish to wake up for. That future is beautiful. I'm delighted today to be in Vedic Valley in Goa, in India. And my guest is Anand Semalty, who is a teacher, astrologer, and all-round wise man. Welcome.
Thank you for welcoming me in my own home. It feels so good. When yes, I very welcome to you also, Amisha.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to see you again, and I'm seeing that you're doing a very great job.
Thank you.
To pass the right knowledge to the people and the vision of people who they are practicing in a proper way, the lifestyle, the proper lifestyle. Mm-hmm. As previously you was telling that what could be the future of our world. As we see already in the hands of our political leaders, it is war is the future of our world. In other hand, we see that the yoga teachers saying yoga is our future. Business people saying being in moon and Mars, this is our future. So what is the real future is actually? Is there something called future? That will be a first thing to know. Is there something future or present is future? Your present is your future. And as a yoga practitioner, living in a very simple life, coming up from very simple lifestyle, I understand that the health is your present and health should be your future. If we have a good health, we have a good future. If we are today not healthy, it's not going to happen tomorrow. So what we need to be very careful about, that we have a good health. Because the good health is the key of a good mind. If you are physically good, because in a good health, in a good body will live the good mind. And this good mind will guide you to the highest pleasure or highest understanding. So what we need to understand that the health is the priority. We should put the priority from today to our health. And that should be the future of our world. However we do this, through different yoga practice, through different health supplements what we are taking in our life, but we should be aware of it. Our resources are limited. We need to focus also on resources. It means proper harvesting, this biopharma culture. We need to support our farmers. We need to do those things that the mother nature feels good. We should not be living life in this world like, I always call the humans are parasite. I am also a human. I am also parasite. We are destroying our own planet. When this planet will be destroyed, we are ready to move on moon. Then we will destroy this planet either, and then we will, because we are parasites. This is only the mentality of parasites. If we would be human, we would never think to do it. So who we are, that becomes the second question to me, to myself. Patanjali already asked these questions for thousands of years ago. And also discover the answer, not only the question, also the answer. It comes the question in everyone's life, who am I? What is the reason of my life? What is the goal of my life? What is the duty of myself? So this is a very important question, and I realize that in generally human being is a parasite. We're destroying this earth. So I don't want to be a parasite. I want to be a human. So we need to stable our resources. We need to see that our nature, our mother nature feels good, that the mother earth feels good. And then of course through this external world we will work into the internal world, that my mother nature, this body who gives me everything and all kind of pleasure I have with it, that feels good. So I can succeed for a healthy future. If there is a future, it's called healthy future. So you will have a healthy future. And that's what we can see in our future generations. Yes, we need to be very aware what is our future generation. Are they will be healthy? My Guruji always say to me, Anand, you should never should worry about the career of your children. You should be worried about the character of the children. If you give a good character to your child, the child will be always good. He will be everywhere, he will be pleased and praised. So you should be always worry about the character of the child, not the career of the child. Because you try to make career and never the character. They always have problem because they never know who they are. Their identification become a burden to them. You and my identification is a burden to us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I always need to be what is your name, what's your duties, because your identification becomes your burden. So if you know you are a human, there is no burden. You will be feeling yourself very free because all are humans. Mm-hmm. No, but our identification make a big problem to us. So we need really to realize who we are in reality. And that we need to teach to the children, this is our future. What is our future? Our children are our future. We should be very careful what we are teaching and showing to our children. What is their future is. Their future is not computer, their future is not tablets, and the smartphones are not their future. This is an obstacle in their futures. You're making barriers for their futures that they cannot see themselves. Yeah. So it's very important. So I'm very happy that the people in more and more practicing yoga. I told you just a few minutes ago, I'm also worried about the future of yoga because it's too much people practicing. And in this too much of practicing, people forget what is the reality of yoga is.
What do you mean there's too much of practicing?
Too much of asana practicing, too much of asana practicing. People start very modifying the yoga, you see. So where is the authenticity of yoga? Where is the yoga se chitta vritti nirodha? That through the yoga practice, you're doing the chitta vritti nirodha, but there is no yoga practice. Very less people do yoga practice. Mainly people do asana practice. It's a one limb of yoga. Where is the yoga practice? It means how the unity and union will happen if you do not do the whole yoga practice. If you're only being a body, not the mind and not either the soul. So how? You start with the body, but there should be intention that I am not the body, I am the mind. And there should be more intention that I am not the mind, I am the soul. But the people only practicing very much body, asana. And I'm very happy to see everybody in the day, every day in the Facebooks, the people are posting every asanas, like they do. So, well, it's happening, but the main fundament of the yoga are losing their existence actually. People do not know what is yama niyamas. They are the basics of yoga. Yama niyamas, to purify their body, to keep healthy. After that you can do yoga. You see, this glass is dirty. Let's say this cup is dirty. I put as much clean water into it. You gonna drink this water? No, you say because the cup was dirty. So this what happened to the people. They are receiving very much knowledge through the teachers, through the gurus, through the sages. They are going in every corner of the world. They are finding every kind of master. But without purifying their own pot, they are receiving this knowledge. And what happened? That the knowledge even though become dirty.
How do we purify our own pot?
First, through the physical body.
So through the asana.
Not only through the asana, through the satkriyas. Saucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, ishvara, pranidhana, etani, pancha niyamani, ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya, etani, panchayamani. So they are the vows what you take in your life, that I will be truthful, I will be non-violence. So this kind of ascetic practices makes you very strong. Let's take an example of Mahatma Gandhi. He had taken a vow of non-violence. And that was till today he known for the non-violence. It's a vow for whole life. So it's a very big practice. You will be always aware that, oh, I never do this kind of things. I'm not gonna hurt someone through my word, not through my idea, and not through my body. So it's a whole life practice. And this is called yogic practice. What you do whole life, it's become your discipline. So we need to purify our body physically. Then we need to purify our thoughts. And so we need to purify our actions, we need to purify. After, when the body is clean, let's just an example. When you take shower, you being very careful when you sit, or when you wearing a clean dress, you sit carefully or you use your actions very carefully because you don't want to get some stain on your dresses. Yes? Or you don't want to put your feet on some garbage because you say, oh, I just was taking shower. So when one time the body starts cleaning, suddenly your thoughts start becoming cleaning. You want to be more clean. But because the body never get clean, we wash only the skin. We never clean our internal organs or our internal self or our thoughts. So it's never happened that I feel that my body is clean. So it is getting mixed up. It is messed and that's why we are not getting the proper result of yoga itself. We are inviting many huge energies or big energies or big understanding, but it is in end it is happening, it's just messing up with me in my life. And then suddenly I feel, after doing so much, I feel lost. That's what I experience with the people I talk. They are practicing yoga for many 100 years already. I mean, you know what I mean. Like they feel that they're being for decades doing practicing yoga, but not understanding really. Having physically problem, having issue, emotionally problem. So what? It's the same thing what a material person is happening. So they feel totally loose because what happened, the basic where they start building up the building of yoga, the fundament of yama niyamas was not there. So that was the difficulty. So I prefer people to practice more yama niyamas than And when you're doing properly yama niyamas, your asanas you're becoming very master in your asanas.
Can you explain, because some of our friends listening, they won't know exactly what yamas and niyamas are. So can you explain that?
The yamas are the social codes and the niyamas are the personal codes. Yamas are the social codes, means you do the practice, what you want for you, you also wish for others. If you don't want to be hurted, so you should also not think that you can hurt someone. Yeah, like as we said, practicing non-violence. It is called ahimsa. Then if you want that someone will be truthful to you, that you should be also truthful to others. So this is called yamas. Yeah, this is the first basic of the humanity. It is the first sign of a humanity, that what you feel for yourself, because the whole world is your reflection. So if you will be reflecting properly, the other one will reflect like this. If you will give a smile to someone, maybe not first day, but you see it is happening. It is happening, no?
Yeah.
So this is because it's a reflection. If you will cry, maybe not the same time, but the next time he will be sad, and then maybe third day he will sit and cry with you. It's a reflection. So the first yama means reflect to your word, but how you wish for yourself, so do you wish for other one, or try to do for. Yeah. So this is called yamas, and then niyamas means the personal. This is something very personal to you. How you clean yourself, how you wash yourself, which kind of shampoo and soap you use. Yeah, that is something it is called niyamas, personal code, how you do cleaning. So Patanjali explained the cleansings. There are 6 kind of cleansings, and like this is like the niyamas. The first thing called saucha means cleansing. There are 6 kind of cleansings. Yeah, it is called neti, dhoti, basti, nauli, and trataka, etani satkriyani, kapala bhati, etani satkriyani. There is nose cleaning. There is a cleaning with we do dhoti cleaning. It means with the stomach cleaning. Organs we clean with our different organs. Then we do the trataka, the gazing into the candle, and doing through the breathing exercises, we do the cleaning into the body, inner organs we are cleaning. So this is the first thing of niyama. Then the second thing of the niyama, I need to satisfy myself. I don't need to be greedy. How much I have, I need to be satisfied with it. It is called santosha. And then through this satisfaction, what will be coming in me, that I will be more strong and I will start heating my body. It is called tapaha. I start doing ascesism. I start doing very deep practices. More deep experiences are happening inside in myself, because I am very satisfied, and this satisfaction start making me strong. So this will be the tapaha. And then if it is through the tapa, I will study myself. These are the steps, These are achievement. It is happening to your body. Suddenly what happens, you do ascesism, you heat your body, and then you start realizing, wow, what are the possibilities of your bodies are. You start understanding about yourself. So it is become swadhyaya. There is a very different explanation about swadhyaya. Swa means my. Adhyaya means study. So people say, yeah, you need to study something, you need to study yourself. So study your own self means swadhyaya. Yeah? So it's an achievement. I satisfied myself, and when my mind was not satisfied, I sit into the very deep practice. It is called tapa. I start hitting myself. I say, how can I not be satisfied? Stay there. So this makes me aware what is my limit, what is my power, what is my possibilities are. So this becomes swadhyaya. I start knowing about me more. First I will know my physical limits, then I will know my mental limit, and then I know my unlimited possibilities. So this becomes swadhyaya. And then the fifth of this, it is very important, Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana, in easy word, because this is a Western word where the people not so much aware of these godly things and serving to the gods. I said gratitude. Yeah, I understand it's in a way of, we start with the gratitude practice, that I being gratitude towards to the God, He gives us everything. And when you say what God gives us, just understand like in a childhood or a kindergarten, remember that like in a playground, God gives us sun, the God gives us moon, the God gives us this beautiful nature, these beautiful birds. I do not do anything for it, and it's a beautiful nature. He gives us rainbow, He gives us all colors. What not He gives us? What you waiting for? You waiting your bread? The God should bring you bread and milk and your fish or curry or whatever. For this you can have whatever you want. But God gives us this whole beautiful universe. Just gratitude. He gives me Amisha. Yes, it's a God gift, So we are the God gifts.
Yeah.
So why not I'm being gratitudeful, I'm being thankful. So this is very important, that Ishvara Pranidhana means I am being gratitudeful towards everything. I am being thankful for this honey bee, what the God have been created. And this honey, when it goes in my mouth and become like, it's a pleasure, it's an aroma, this is the nectar. I'm being thankful to this honey bee. But I see the form of the God in it. He did it, not me either. Yeah? I can't produce the honey. So this thankfulness. So these are the two fundaments of the yoga, what are people not practicing at all. Hopping in the yoga mat, it's only create rajas in your body, because the frictions are happening into the body and you becoming very rajasic. Rajas will give the birth to the tamas. So suddenly ego will grow, and that's what I many times face with the new generation practicing yoga, can do some handstand and headstand and some kind of difficult twist or asanas, and then they do not have any gratitude towards to this yoga itself. So this is a little bit of my sorrow, that what is the future of yoga itself is, not only the word but also the future of yoga. Yeah, because I do not see there is a happening chit vritti nirodha, that the desires of the mind or this vibration of the mind are getting into the stillness, and I can see myself. So these two practices are very important practice, should be practiced.
Why do you think that this is what's happened in the West? So you have a unique perspective because you are Indian, trained in India, but then you also spend a lot of time in Europe, and so you see what yoga is in the West. Why do you think it became so diluted? Why do you think these things went missing?
Because like we start abusing. We are not using, we are abusing. People come to yoga when they are sick already, so they start waiting a lot of results. Without doing a lot of practice, people are waiting results. In Europe what happens, like in India, yoga is a traditional Vedic practice. You start this from childhood and you become a yogi. Yeah, you did all the rules, regulations. But what happens, people have very much awaiting. They are waiting very much result from the yoga.
In the West?
In the West,
yeah.
Yes. They come with different problems. I'm not saying that the yoga don't help, but that's why. So what happens that because of these problems, people start making it money out of it. They start selling the yoga. So what happened in this selling competition, the yoga start changing very much form, it's become very modified. So the tradition, what was, I'm very happy and very lucky that I born in India, and I'm more lucky than that I born in family where I could practice yoga and get introduced already in my childhood with yoga and everything those, and meet many masters in my life. I'm very happy about this, can be only grateful for that. But still, through this Western interfering of the yoga, of this modification, yes, it's too much modification where the yoga loses its authenticity. And that is what happens in Western world, where the people, because of modifying this yoga, so yoga from the tradition, the yoga become trend. And the problem is the trend never stays. Trend comes and goes. So they need always to bring changes into the trend. See? Winter trend, summer trend, herbs trend. So there is an autumn trend. So there is always some trends are there. But yoga is not a trend. Yoga is the importance of a human life. It is our resource. To be towards the humanity, yoga is a resource. It's not a trend. But in Western world, it becomes very trendy.
And then we get acro yoga.
That's what it's a modification of the yoga itself.
Yeah.
Like when we study yoga, when I study, I'm not so old, but when we study yoga, it was Hatha yoga, Raja yoga, Kriya yoga, and Laya yoga. And all form of 12 yoga, what is Krishna explains into the Gita. But as we was a practitioner, I am a practitioner of Hatha asana, so Hatha yogi. There was Raja Yogis who there was more meditating, more pranayama and meditation exercise. There was Raja Yogas. But now when I enter into the yoga world, suddenly like teacher training going on, and in one page there was written a lot of about yoga. So there was written about aerial yoga. So it is written yoga on towels. Yoga with hanging towels, you know.
Yeah, the silk towels.
So like, and I said, I want to make a photo out of it and just put it in Facebook, so it will be like a big joke, you know, like, because Luna yoga is this, Laya yoga is this, this yoga is this, like, a very simple meaning of this yoga. So it's too much modification of the yoga, and yoga is a discipline, and the discipline cannot be modified for you or for me, but we are modifying them up to down. So how the discipline will be holding? If I start modifying, I make easy for you and difficult for him, it's not the truth. And that's what is happening, that the people are modifying very much of the yoga, and the yoga loses his authenticity. And this is, as a practitioner of Hatha Yoga, I'm not worrying about, but I see that there are not proper results of yoga what the people are waiting for, because there are not real practices going on. It's like a, you know, like you are swimming in some kind of expensive swimming pool where you don't want to become wet above the sea level, you know, you just yeah. So your face, your makeup should not become wet. No, when you are swimming, you should dive into it. You should dive totally into deep, and that's what I'm not seeing, that the people are diving into yoga.
And some are, but
not everybody. I mean, but that's the thing is, those some are who are into it. They are not into the light. They are not putting themselves into the everywhere in every photo. Yeah. So we should be clever enough to see who they are, the real masters, who they are practicing really, and if we are really want to go deep into the yoga, so we should follow those kind of masters, not only the masters who they are very famous in Facebooks only. I'm just really, this is my feelings. Yeah, because the real masters are not, maybe they don't have that much time that every asana they can put into the Facebook. Yes, they are the good business people. But I would really prefer for those who they are really seeking of the yoga, and they really put so much effort to understand the yoga and apply those yogic principle in their life. Those masters, maybe they are not in Facebook or in Messenger or in Instagram. Yeah, they are really deep in their practices. So sometime if we get this kind of possibility to see these kind of real masters, I'm not saying they are only in India, they are in all around the world, these kind of masters. And maybe they are not only Hatha Yoga practitioners, they are in the real life yogis. Yeah, but if we should be totally full of gratitude to them, because they are holding this knowledge. They are the pioneers of this knowledge. They are the essence of this knowledge. Through them this knowledge survive. So we should be very thankful for them. It's my personal gratitude, and anybody who listens this, and if there are these masters who are listening, my greetings and gratitudes, my thousands of gratitudes to them, to their lotus feet, that they are the real ones who they keep this knowledge. Yes, because of them this knowledge survives. And time to time comes out. Yes, not only India, in all around the world, and the Mother Earth, because of them this Mother Earth being very fruitful to us, that we can live. Shivoham.
what does it mean to grow up in a Vedic tradition? Can you explain?
Well, you are asking a question to a fish, what is to growing up in the ocean? He said, when you do not see anything but else. He said, how the ocean look like? I said, come on, I need to get out of the ocean to see how the ocean looks like.
Okay, but for people in a different ocean, what does it mean?
So to grown up in Vedic tradition, to me, now it feels very, very lucky. When I see so many seekers, yeah? When I see today, the day, how many people writing or coming or seeking for knowledge around the world, so I feel, like +10. I feel myself really, wow, such a, like when it was a time in my childhood, it was being a question, because when I start look the modern world, yeah, what the other children doing and I needed to do, and reciting Vedic mantras, that my father would kick us out of the bed like 3:30. in a very positive way. My all greetings to my father, he's my real guru. So he said, come on, leave the bed at 3:30. So it was, and those children who they go in 9 or 10 school, so they shooted themselves and properly and dress up there very much, and we would look them like all brothers, we are standing and said, wow, they have easy. Wow, they have good, because they had school from 8 to 12 when they come home and they could play, and father gives us such books,
Yeah.
Come, you need to study, So, because Vedas, it's a knowledge of human beings.
So you would get up at 3:30 a.m. to study.
We had a last call at 4. This was the 4 was the deadline. It's not possible because 4 was the father was outside already. So the 3:30 was a wake up call first. So somehow the big brothers let you, because there is we would have one toilet. So like if the small one sleeps, so they have more easy. So you see, you need to have a whole picture. Why we do not stand up everyone together? So the elder brother maybe would first clean themselves, and then they make the water hot for the younger one, and then we could wash up ourselves. But the 4 was the deadline, so everybody has to be fit at 4 in front of father. And then we would start reciting the mantras. And there was a problem, because when we start reciting, we was studying 4 brothers, we was reciting the mantras all together, 4 brothers, because 2 brothers was, one brother came, so he is younger than me, and one brother was already old enough. So 4 brothers we was reciting, and we was very loud Brahmins. So we are reciting the Vedic mantra. So it was very loud. When you are morning time, everybody sleeping 4 o'clock. Like mostly people do go to the bed at 12, and 4 they have the deep sleep where the Brahmins are waking up. And so we would recite very loudly the Vedic mantras, because father say either you will sleep, so you need to recite. So people will complain to not to us, but because the Brahmins have very big respect. It is something for the good, for the mankind, that some people are chanting Vedic mantra, reciting Vedic mantras. So they would complain, oh, these Brahmin children, they wake up so early and we cannot sleep because of them, because they are so loud. So it was a little bit sometimes hurting, and feel like, okay, maybe I also would go in some school and study some mathematics and maybe some physics and some science, and the school children when I look. But today I feel I don't want to waste my time in this schooling system, and so do I want to raise my children with Vedic knowledge, with Vedic culture, with Vedic system. And what is a Vedic education, like, you see, we understand this Vedic education. It's not about only studying Vedas is a Vedic education. Being aware is a Vedic education. You should be aware for your physical health, for your mental health, and for your spiritual health, to being a proper human. It's very important. So I'm already aware now for my children. I have 3 beautiful daughters. So I'm very aware of that.
Girls.
I wanna raise them up totally in a natural way. They should have social information. They go everywhere into the school. They go here when we are in India, in Goa, in Vedic Valley. They go here into the school. They go to Austria to the school to just see how the social world works and how they can be a part of this social world and still helpful to this social world. So I want to make out of them such a beautiful tool, who they have knowledge about it, how they can be supportive, and where is the weak points of this. So they are going everywhere into the school, wherever we travel. I try to send them into this age class that they understand what, either they do not complain after, Papa, you do not send us. But still the focus will be there, that they will be aware, or they are aware already about this Vedic life, about yoga, about Ayurveda, about conscious food. They are already aware of this. So I'm happy to be living a Vedic life, to be being part of a Vedic life, and to show the people a easy way to the happiness. I'm very happy. So this Vedic life actually give me everything what a happy person can seek for. So I can tell you, if Amisha, you ask me, Anand, are you happy? I said yes. Without even taking a second, I will say yes, I'm happy. Because I'm happy, whatever comes, I'm happy inside, that I don't have done anything that makes me afraid of anything. So I'm ready, anything can happen. It's a life, it's a world. You said, oh, die anything, tsunami comes and swept everything out. Whatever, but inside in me it is a very already, now in the age of 38, I already can say I start feeling some waves are very shanti giving me. Yeah, what is my future waves? Yes, something is somewhere inside. Well, I am working. I'm working also hard to live, to fulfill my duties and jobs, and to cover my expenses. I'm working hard for this, but still somewhere behind there is a wave. What makes me satisfied? What gives me, like a shanti inside in me. That already I start feeling this, yeah, and for this I'm very thankful. When I look this behind, look, there is a struggle, I'm working, children are growing, I have a lot of duties, business is growing, people asking, having desires, but still there is a behind something what gives me really like something, you are in the right way. That's the thing, you very deep and very small, but the first step, you are on the right way. So how long the journey will take, I don't care. Yes, how difficult will be the journey, I don't care if I am on the right way. Yeah? So that's what is coming into life through this Vedic life. Yeah?
And can anyone can take on these principles?
Absolutely,
and bring them into their lives?
You see, what is Vedas? Veda is, people say, book of knowledge. Very rightly, but not the book, life of knowledge. It's not a book. Yes? It's a life. Vedas are life. Into 4 Vedas they try to put the word, but the Vedas it itself means Vidya, it's a knowledge itself. So, and knowledge is not somebody's copyright. Knowledge is knowledge. It's free in universe. You just need to connect to the universe. You can download everything itself. I always say to the people, you can download everything from the Googles nowadays. Yes? Somebody put this information, somebody work for. So the God gives this Google Earth, everything hidden in this universe. You just need to have a good internet connection. And this internet connection is your telepathy. When you start doing meditation, your internet connection becomes so quick, you can download directly from this huge universe all information. And how did the yogis did? Where they discover? They do not roam around, going from in this corner to that corner. They sit in one place and they download everything. So that's what the yogis do, and that's what we also can do.
Why do you think so many people come to India seeking?
India is the motherland, India is the motherland. It's the land of life. It's the land of freedom. India is, is the land of culture. It's the land of color. It's the land of India. It's the land of Indians. India is having every phase of the life. You see, in India, you can seek for everything. What is not everywhere happens. You have the poorest person, you have the richest person, you have the very stupid people around hanging, you can see, and you have very enlightened people. So India is the land where you can find everything. Yeah. So I would prefer India is actually, that's what I said. India is the life of where the life lives. My experience. I being traveling, like you say, you traveling all around the world. I'm traveling already almost 20 years around the world, and I found many beautiful places, but not the India. Yes, I see a lot of beautiful places where I said, oh, there would be my house, very good, but still it was not India. Yeah? So India is India. So why the people are coming? Because they seek for something what is practicing or people have been practicing in India. And that what pulls people again and again into India, because there is some essence is still there. Now more Westerners are practicing yoga.
Yeah, but in India the permission is
The
there.
essence is there still. There lives, still there are practitioners, there are yogis, there are masters who they are totally into their deep practices. And for what? Not for themselves, not to become popular, just for the mankind. just for the mankind. You see, there are thousands. We have bigger than a Indian army. There are many saints in India. You know that? We have less of Indian army. We have more saints in India.
Yeah.
So there are 40 lakhs army and we have 4 million yogis, babas, who they are renounced people roaming around, just being helpful, being advisors, being healers, being chanting mantras, giving the name of the God. It's in India. Nowhere in the world you will find this amount of the well-wishers. In India you have only well-wishers. We have about 4 million people, only well-wishers. When you go to the Kumbh Mela, you see how many million people coming. Just they are well-wishing for the world. They are renounced people. Nowhere in the world. There are poor people in the world. You said, okay, they are poor, they only can do this. There are poor people, but they cry only for their poorness. But in India, they are living in a state, but they said, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Everybody should be happy, healthy, satisfied. So India is the land of well-wishers. That's why people to take these blessings, to feel these well-wishings, warm wishings, warm welcomings. It's found in India. It lives, it practiced in India. Indians are famous for being good for hospitalities.
And then I suppose the experience of being in India and being in this culture where it is completely acceptable and encouraged to trust your intuition, to have your connection, all of these things are alive.
You see, that's the thing. When you reach, you eating the fruits of some tree, but when you will get to know about the tree, yes, that will be the time to be thankful to the tree. Personal, yeah. So when you come and seek some practice in India, it is to be thankful personally to the land. Yeah, you are receiving this knowledge also in your country, but when once time you come to the India, where this practices was practiced for thousands of years ago, it is your personal connection to the land that you being thankful to it. That you touch this tree and said, oh my God, this was the fruit of this tree I was enjoying all my life. You all life eat a mango from in your country, but you never see the mango tree. Today you come and you say, oh, you look this mango tree, so this will be the time you said, oh, you was most beloved to me. You my favorite fruit, first time you come to it, said, all my life talk about yoga and everything, and I come to this, where it is everything started from, so the India become this land, the land of essence. You touch the root of this essence. It gives you very much confident. I know many yoga teachers in our age. I know also double of my age yoga teacher who they are practitioners. When they come to India to recharge themselves. They are yogis, they are practicing more than of my age, like they are 50 years. I know some Western American yogis, they are practicing 50 years. They come and they conversate with me. They was practicing with Pratapi Joyce, they was practicing with B.K. Iyengar. And then they communicate with me, well, like my knowledge, like I am just opening my wings. And then they said, but when we come to India, it's like, like these old times comes, nothing changed in India. He said, okay, materially changing, but it is same what like 50 years ago. Yeah, this not change in India. How the people talk, how the people explain, it is same thing. Yeah, so there is something what is static in India, and this Vedic knowledge is static in India, and that's why the seekers always try to come again and again and again into India. India could be a very good platform because India being a very good platform for spiritual seekers. If we said spirituality in Western world is given by Indians, it will be not, you said, oh, it's too much. They're being very big philosophers. They're being very big philosophers of Western world. Very good philosopher. We study even though this philosopher. But still, when we talk about spiritual philosophers, they come from India and giving this knowledge. So, there is, again as I said, There are masters. It's a home of masters. They are not so much famous in Facebook, but there are masters who they seek only for the knowledge and they give their life for the knowledge itself. So coming again and again in India, I welcome, as an Indian, I welcome everybody to India. Come, yeah, come home. India is a home. India is a home for everybody, and there is a place for everybody. Yes, this is India.
It might not be as much space as everyone's used to, but there's always space.
There is always a space in India. There is always a space in India. We Indians are happy to go into the tent and give our house to the rent. There is always a space in India. The reality is, whatever you see in the pictures and in TVs and the people will be making a video or something, but in India, there is, in reality, if the people are clever enough, there is no hunger in India, because there are so many places where you are, freely people are feeded. You will see there are some beggars or who they are asking for the food. What you see many times, animals in the street, beggars in the street. Yes, this is one picture what mainly in Western what people know, that this is a very poor land. But you should look behind the happiness. Yeah, these people are very happy without having anything. They ask, they are not shy to ask you, give me 1 rupee or 10 rupee, give me food. But they are still happy. Yeah? In India they say very beautifully, they said, Jo de uska bhi bhala, jo na de uska bhi bhala. Who gives, he also should be happy, and who do not give, he should be also happy. Yeah? So this is yeah? So this is about the India. Is a mystical land. You can have everything in India. What you seek for, you can have everything in India. That's our India.
Yeah, feeling grateful to be sitting here.
Yeah, me
right
too.
now.
As long time not had conversations to talk free, always people give some subject, but when come the time to, you just please throw out what you hold inside. It's so lessly it happens, Otherwise, I would have every second, third day there are some kind of people want to have some interview, but they will prepare questions, they want to know only this. You said, no, please, you just please say this only. But when come the time that someone let you speak, and I know these words are going to the world, so I want to speak truth, and that's my truth. I do not say to, that's why I would not take anybody's name, any of my guru's name, because it's, if anyone have an objection in this talk, I am the total responsible, because this is my talk. It's me, it's Anand Semalty. If there is somebody who want to have a question and having more conversation with it, I will be happy to respond in it. Yes. Mm-hmm. So because this is my meanings, my feelings, my understandings and my experience about the life and about the yogic life and Vedic life.
Your truth, Anandji, is very welcome. Shivoham.
Shivoham.
How does astrology come into knowing who we are? So one of the big practices is Vedic astrology, and you're very good.
Oh, thank you.
Astrology.
Thank you.
All my friends now come to you.
Thank you. I'm so as your question, like how does the astrology
help to know yourself? So we talked at the beginning about how we need to know who we are, but also the burden of our identity. Why do we look into astrology?
Well, you see that astrology, one thing it is, I love this subject, astrology. Actually, it feels very comfortable with astrology to me. I mean, like I born as a Brahmin and studied and practiced, and my grandfather was an astrologer and my great grandfather was an astrologer, and I did practice with my father. I did my practice of an astrologer, and from age of 9 I'm doing an astrologer work around the globe. I'm working with astrology and I have very good experience with the astrology. But what I understand through the astrology, that why we would look, if you don't want to waste your time in your life, use astrology. You can't change something, but you don't waste your time. He said, before, when the people not had navigation system in their cars, they would go with the maps, or some people they did the journey on their own experience. But nowadays you have a navigation system in every car, or you can buy it in navigation system on your handies. There are navigation system to just use the navigation system, and you know how much time I need and what is the destination. You decide your destination and you decide the speed, with which speed you want to journey. Astrology gives you only the directions. So for me, astrology is a navigation system, what navigate us in different parts of our life and make the life easy. So I do not put effort and the energy into wrong place, in a wrong time. Why we do need it? Actually, if you said, why we need to use astrology? The life gives us experience. We should have an experience. If you reveal everything before, so there is no experience feelings because you know it already. I would say no, it is not like that. You will experience, but the knowledge is the solution of every problem. May not everybody need astrology, but Veda say the astrology or Jyotish, we do not say astrology, we call it Jyotish. Jyotish is the eyes of Vedas. Yeah? Through the Jyotish, you learn to look proper. What you learn to look proper? Everybody look proper, but they look the material world, or we look the material world with those eyes. But in this material world, to look properly, you want to search in this big hall. Look, this is 100 square meter big hall. You want to search it something, so it's better to you have a proper eyes. Isn't it? You look like up and you say, I do not find. So the world is very big and with very many obstacles. To find something very specific for you, you need to have a proper eyes for it and proper way to find it. So this become the astro eyes. Yeah? So the eyes of the astrology gives you this possibility to find the right path for yourself. Yeah? So that's what I said, it's a navigation system. It's a proper knowledge in this life journey to make my life easy. Yeah? That what the life want to give me, I would be prepared for it. Yeah? So this is about the astrology. It's some very beautiful science. Astrology is not a hocus pocus, it is not a prophecy, it is a very perfect science. To calculate the proper time to do proper things. And when you being in a proper time in a proper place, you get proper things. So what does the astrology do? Astrology will just say, oh, this is the right time, stay there, wait there. Yeah? Otherwise you just miss some opportunities. So as I said, not may everybody say, oh, I need because I become something, it is very good. But the people who they are looking something in their life, I am not saying about shortcut, but no time wasting, they should use this navigation system. It can be very helpful, key, and not only into the material world, even though into the spiritual world. Astrology, material world, what is going to give you, you need to do it for it and it is coming to you. But astrology can be a very strong tool also for your spiritual paths. For your specific practice, what opens the way for you, what will be the way of spirituality? What will be the first step of your spirituality? This is even though the astrology can show you. So it's not only about being in a material world, it's also for the spiritual world. Yes? So this is what the astrology can give you.
Can you be healthy without taking care of your spirituality?
Yes, of course. There are a lot of people, but then they are like animals. Animals are also healthy. Yeah? But what is this about the animals? They do not have any knowledge. Eating, sitting, having sex, and that's it. And sleeping, and again eating. If you do not caring about your spiritual health, You are like an animal. Sahitya Sangita Kala Vihina Sakshad Pasu Puchha Vishanihina Trinanna Khadyanaphi Jiva Manam Tadbhaga Deham Paramam Pasuna. Sahitya, if you are not a practitioner of a literature, not a music, not any kind of art, not any kind of spiritual practice, your life is so miserable. A poet explains it is if the person who is not practicing any kind of practice for spiritual seeking or not art or nothing, no music and no any education, he is an animal who do not have a tail and no horns. And he is the animal who cannot even eat. Trinanna Khadyanapi Jivamanam, he even cannot eat. This kind of animal is more bad than animal itself. Who is this animal? It's a human. He not have horns and he don't have tail to protect himself. Yes? He is nothing, you know. The horns are protection and tails are indication. And this human is eating everything and do not know what to eat. Animals know what to eat and what not to eat. And this is eating everything. He is eating like a garbage box where you can mix plastic, you can mix bio and everything, and this kind of garbage is a human life if he is not a spiritual practitioner. So it is very much important that we should care about our spiritual health or our seeking of spirituality. How much you do, but the starting should be. Even though it is 5 minutes every day, 5 minutes will become 50 minutes, 50 minutes will become maybe 5 hours. It will happen. You should not be worried about that how many hours you do spiritual seeking. Maybe you start with 5 minutes, but you see that it happens.
And what would you recommend somebody does for this first 5 minutes if they're listening now and realizing that they're an animal?
Gratitude.
Start with gratitude.
Gratitude will be the first practice what should come. When you put down your feet from the bed to the Mother Earth floor, when you start hitting her like a football, say, Mother, excuse myself. I want to seek through you the spirituality and I'm doing all the most miserable things on you, and still I want to take away my highest understanding from here. So first should be the gratitude to the Mother Earth. That should be the first thing. Start looking down, not search the God up. He is not up somewhere. Space is empty.
She is down.
Yes.
Underneath, holding us.
Yes. So this 5 minutes start with gratitude, and the gratitude will give you everything what need.
And what about the mind?
What you want to know about mind?
I enjoyed the mind dance that you
Yes,
can't
yes.
see.
What about the
Unfortunately,
mind?
we're
Yes,
listening.
the mind. I like the mind. Actually, this mind is a very beautiful thing. I love it.
How do we create
Monkey mind.
no, how do we create a healthier relationship with our mind?
Yes, the healthy relationship of mind, it is by the healthy thoughts, well-wishing to the other people, and first of giving higher moral to yourself, being everywhere, your morals, yes, should be more higher morals. Higher morals means higher thinking. You should not see only yourself, you should always connect to the universe. You are universal being. You are not the drop of the ocean. You are the whole ocean in this drop. You should not say that I am the drop of the ocean. No, you are the whole ocean in this drop. Yeah? So when this kind of morals are there, your mind will be always very, because you make him, like giving him very higher position. Not some very low position. Who he is, we even don't know. He is work for me. So he shows him, he being always opposite to you. But if you give him this kind of, that I am this drop where the whole ocean is in it, so this become higher morals. So you're making a good relation with the mind already. It has started very good. Then he become very responsible. Then the mind feel very responsibility towards to you, because you give him this kind of position. Yeah. So this is the first thing, that what you make with your mind, that you give him this kind of feelings, that I am this ocean in the drop. Then it becomes better. And then of course the mind need disciplines. Mind is like a child who not learn in one day. He need to do it again and again and again and again. And then one day it becomes his habit, and even though he do not know that is his habit. So mind need very much disciplines. And these disciplines are done by the body, not only by the mind, this is done by the bodies. So there should be some discipline. There are some discipline what mind already having. Like physically you do toothbrushing every day, yes? Morning and evening you do the toothbrushing, and it become your habit. Now without toothbrushing you do not go into the bed, or you do not eat in morning time without toothbrushing. So it become a very beautiful discipline. It become your health awareness, yes? So you see, everything happens only because you discipline. Yeah? So it is a long time practice. Your habits not one day practice. Your samskaras are not one day practice. It's a many years of practice. Yeah? But you too much deep inside into the practice that you even forget that they are your practice and you need to do it. It becomes your habits. And it is happening itself. Yeah? So this it happens when you go this kind of disciplines, everyday disciplines, that I wish for the whole world good. And then I start practicing this, and then suddenly it becomes the habit of the mind. So he always, whenever it is even so difficult, he said, what you doing there? Do meditation, know that it is good for you. He will never let you lost. Your mind will never let you lost. There are different emotions, different times, different sides, but each time he will pull you out and say, what you doing? You are always a yogi. Sit in meditation, you will be feeling good, and suddenly you will see that after 2 minutes you sit in meditation and you feel everything good. So that it will be. So but you need to teach your mind. So the mind need very much this kind of discipline. But you should know that the mind is like a child. Very easy, slowly teaching, with love teaching, with place teaching. That's what we try to teach through yoga asanas. They are only like a kindergarten, yes?
Although most people, when they sit in meditation at the beginning, they don't feel good.
Yes, it is. Oh, I had a very big difficulty. When it comes to me, like I was like learning about meditation, I was 14, 15. And when the sudden in my life, like when the boy was coming in me, and suddenly I had all those, because I was studying, I wouldn't say I was studying Kama Sutra, but I was studying Sahitya, literature, yes, and all about, and the gods, and I was reading the books and beauties of the woman and all kind of beauty of the woman and beauty of the feminine and all those kind of Shakti I was reading, and a Shakta Tantra I was reading. So it was like, there are a lot of information was in my mind, and I sit on meditation, and suddenly when I start meditation, and this picture, this unsolved questions, you know, and the fantasy about this woman and man thing, and I had a hard time, and I go to my father and I say to my father, you know, I'm sorry, I cannot meditation. I cannot do meditation because when I close my eyes, I'm telling you the truth, I feel erection, you know. And my father is like, but you need to go through it. Huh? Yeah, he said very clearly, you need to go through it. If it is not in your mind, it would never happen. Because it is in your mind, and you need to come over to the mind. You need to look the behind. This is not something wrong. It is very true nature of a human being. But you need to go beyond. So I had difficulty too. Yes, you never being born to be a meditative, you know. You're not born to be meditative. Speculations are there, desires are there, tensions are there, emotions are there, feelings are there, fantasies are there. You see how a lot of things are there. So it's not easy to meditate, but easy. Chareveti, do, and suddenly you find this where everything ends, you know. You reach this black hole where everything ends. In end, it happens. Yeah, it's not always easy to meditate. And I always say to the people, don't try to stop those thoughts. You can't stop them. Because when you stop something, it tries to destroy, then it comes out with destruction. People try to hold their emotions, hold their aggressions, hold their feelings because they start practicing meditation. It's totally wrong. You need to divert those feelings. You need to divert those feelings. You said, too much sexual energy is coming in me. I divert this energy for more higher. I just don't want to have sex. Through this sex, I want to have a child who will be strong. I just don't want to lose my energy. No, I want to have through this. So this is diversion.
So then you bring it
yes,
up into
you
the
start
heart
bringing
chakra.
up and bringing to your heart.
Yeah.
And that time you meet your right woman and you said, wow, the first child was born, he born like a deity. He born like a demigod, you know. So this, coming so much aggression, so make it as don't make it aggression. Aggression get the poor people. It's my power. It's my power. I'm like a fire. So start bringing this as a Shiva, you know, like holding it. Transform it. So this is how you need to do it. It is. You cannot stop. You need always to divert. Yeah, avarodha, not. It's not. There cannot be avarodha. You cannot stop them. It will stop itself. Yes, you just need to see that you can divert it. You need to intention. You need to convert your intention. You need to divert this intention. Your thoughts are very important. It's a perception of the mind. Mind perceptions. He said, how many perceptions are in the mind? Patanjali explained beautifully. He said, Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smrti, Etani, Panchavrittani. He said there are two vrittis, yes? Vritti dvaya. There are two vrittis, the two behavior or two desires of the mind. But he explained on to the 5 different. He said the two vrittis called klishta, aklishta. Klishta, aklishta means klishta, what is makes difficulty, aklishta, what is not make difficulty. He said some desires, what like desire towards to doing yoga. It will guide you to the health, prosperity, wisdom kind of things. Just opposite of this, you said, okay, I want to go to the party all night, I do boom, 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 and tomorrow morning I feel myself like a dead. So, klishta, klishta, these are two vrittis, yeah? Two different kind of mind, like this or like this. He said, but it's not always like this, the mind have 5 perceptions. Like 5 stages explained to the mind. He said, the pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smrti, etani, panchavrittani. The mind acts in 5 different ways. First, mind want to certify, either it is right or not right. Then he doubts on it. Then he imaginate on it. Then he meditate on it or like feel sleep. And then he remembers it. And then he do it. There are the 5 things, you know, like I'm giving you tea, you try to touch it, feel it, look it, smell it, and then you said, okay, now I think. Yes? So these are the qualities of the mind, how the mind acts. So I need to use these all qualities and then to find klishta, klishta. These are 2 desires. What is my way? What is my path? What is my right direction or not? So this mind acts on this 5 way, and through this 5 way you need to act with your mind. And how does this 5 act will work? We just already talked in beginning. Yama, niyama, yeah? Saucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana, ahimsa, satya, steya, aparigraha, brahmacharya, ishvara pranidhana. So these are the things what you, those 5 to those 5, perfect, you become master.
Perfect place to end. Everyone listening can become a master.
Yeah. So if you become the master of your body, you will become the master of, through the mastering of the body, you will be mastering the mind. Yes. How to mastering the mind? It is through the prana, because the mind is the king of the body. So do the prana are the king of the mind. So you start concentrating on the prana. Become aware to the prana. When you become aware to the prana, the mind start becoming aware. Mind start becoming conscious. Only physically awareness of the prana is a consciousness for the mind. You know, when you drink a glass of water with consciousness, it have totally different information in your body that you're drinking, you know, like just a whole bottle. You will urinate it immediately. You know, like immediately I said after 10-15 minutes you said I need to pass it out. But when you're drinking consciously, oh, this is a water and I'm enjoying this sip by sip. This water gives you the life information inside. It meets to his eternal form. 60% of human body made out of water. You do not give to your thirst the water, you give water to the water. It become its form, it gonna stay, and he said, oh, thank you very much, you give me a sip of water. One sip will be very much enough, not the liter. You see? So when you become aware to this prana, it becomes suddenly very higher consciousness for the mind. And that's why before the meditation, few pranayama exercises can be very helpful. And then you go really deep into it. The mind enjoys it.
And so pranayama for those.
Absolutely, pranayama, like your question, how to be a good friend, yeah? These are all the things too much like we're reading a newspaper without sense. But the truth, the true in sense, pranayama will be the best thing to get a good friend of your mind. Yes, to know about your mind, to become master of your mind, the pranayama it is. How you can master your mind? Only through the pranayama. So the discipline of the prana, awareness of the prana is making you master of the mind.
Beautiful.
Shivoham.
Shivoham. And so for those listening that are now saying, what is pranayama?
They are invited, they are welcome to India. It's a never ending subject, you know. He says, Sasati swasa praswasa gatir vichedhati pranayama. Okay. I'm very happy to talk to you. And the pranayama explains, Sasati swasa praswasa gatir vichedhati pranayama. He said, Sasati, what is happening? Gatir. Swasa praswasa, it means inhaling and exhaling, changing the speed, either making very quick, very slow, or stop it. That is means pranayama. It means controlling the prana. It is pranayama. You control your prana. And when you control your prana, it means you can guide him anywhere. When you can control a horse, you can guide him. First you need to learn the control. Then you can guide him, you can ride on him. So the mind is like this. The prana is like this. Now the prana flows it down after you bring the prana for the higher understanding. So welcome everybody who is listening and who is interesting. Welcome everyone. Welcome to India.
Yeah, and for those of you that are listening, if you want to come and come visit Vedic Valley and meet Anand.
Shivoham.
And also if you want to find out about astrology readings, you can go to vedicvalley.in, so www.vedicvalley.in. And Anandji, we have been talking for 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Oh,
so
it looks
1:08. It's a perfect time to end.
Yes, thank you very much. It's been a very great pleasure, and it's not my emotions, but they are my message to the world, and I'm very happy to share with. And as I said before, if anybody want to discuss or having further, I am the responsible person for this information what is coming to the world. And I'm here for you. Shivoham. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anandji.
Shivoham.
Thank you for listening. As always, you can find links to everything we mentioned in this episode, download our book, and discover so much more over on the blog. We don't believe in selling you things you don't need through this podcast, and so it's made possible by you, our community. If you loved this and would like to contribute to our Patreon campaign, or join our online group to connect with other listeners, please visit www.thefutureisbeautiful.co and click on community. Please also hit subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes so we can grow. Here is to us, creating a beautiful future together.